I'm Sparkle. Thanks for joining me. The practice today revolves around conditioning for the back, the hips. We're going to be opening up the hamstrings. Let's get started. Let's drop into just a sense of trust that this hour of your life will contribute more focused time and more quality of time overall for your day. So let's take a deep breath to that. Open mouth, exhale. One more even deeper breath. Pausing at the top. And open mouth, exhale. Slowly, when you're ready, you can flutter the eyes open and we'll move to downward facing dog. So we use this as a kind of a microcosm, working on this hour of our relationship to ourselves, this hour of investment into ourselves as a way of sort of foreshadowing or planting a seed that we can take with us through more loving choices and actions. On an inhale, let's come forward to plank pose. Feel free to do hands and knees instead. And stretch the soles of the feet by shifting the heart forward and the shoulder blades more onto the back. And then on an exhale, go back to down dog. We'll do just that movement 2 more times with the breath. So inhaling forward, exhaling back. One more time. Look forward, bend the knees, and gently step or hop to the front of the mat. Come to a flat back, hands to shins. And exhale, fold. Interlace the hands behind you. Roll the shoulder blades towards each other on the back, sending them up and over. Release the hands. And then slowly sweep the arms out to the sides. Deep breath, coming all the way to standing. Exhale, hands in prayer. We're starting slow to just sort of ease our way into some more challenging experiences. It always gets more challenging, right? So standing on your left foot, inhale, sweep your right knee up and the arms overhead. And then on an exhale, keeping the arms stretching overhead, step the right leg back. We're going to go to this lunge with the back knee off the ground if possible. From here, hug the back shin in towards the midline and widen the right thigh out. So that's the back leg, working with the back leg. So feeling the expansion in the right hip. Let's spread that expansion up from the pelvis. So breathe up the sides of the waist, up through the sides of the ribs, stretching up. And on an exhale, shift forward, heart over the front knee. Step up to chair pose, so feet hips width apart. Take a deep breath in chair with the arms stretching overhead parallel. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Exhale, hands in prayer. So easing our way into our true power. Lift the left knee up, arms overhead. And on an exhale, slowly step back. So back leg work, although it's behind us, it's a huge part of the pose, right? So draw the left shin in, widen the left thigh out. Bring the sensation of expanding from the left hip on an inhale all the way up through the chest. Exhale, lean forward. Inhale, step up, chair, feet hips width apart. Take the upper arms back in space. Take a big inhale, and from the back of the pelvis, reach up into the back ribs with the breath. And exhale, fold. Straightening the legs, hugging the legs in towards the body. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up to the sky. Exhale, hands in prayer. Okay, just the arms. Move. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, right elbow over left. So we do this eagle pose. Lift the elbows nice and high. And guess what's coming? We're on the left leg. Reach the right knee in towards the chest. Exhale, let's step it back. So same flow. Take a moment to sort of shift your weight forward and back in the lunge to feel. Plugging the back shin in towards the midline. Widen the right hip out. And then stretch that expansive feeling up into the chest. Lift the elbows, but keep the arms in this position. Exhale, heart leans forward over the knee. And we'll step forward to chair. Hips stay as low as they were when you were in that lunge. So really get low into it. It's only going to last one more breath. Inhale, stretch all the way up, unwind the arms, and exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the arms to the sky. Exhale, left elbow on top. So wrapping the arms and the hands. The sort of emotional association is the sort of running down the midline, right? So your hands are set right so that almost as if you could see one eye on either side of the hands. Inhale, lift the elbows high. Exhale. Dive deep into it with the knees bent. Stretch the left leg back. You can wobble around just like I am. Elbows high. Pull the back shin in, widening the left thigh. And then reach that expansive feeling up onto all sides of the heart. One more breath. Exhale, leaning forward. Step to the front of the mat in chair. Lift the elbows high. Sit as low as you were in the lunge. Inhale, stretch all the way up. Unwind the arms to the sky. And let's swan dive forward. Inhale. Bend the knees, plant the hands. Let's step back to plank. Take a moment here and shift your hips side to side, kind of like just like a rocking motion. And you can explore keeping the feet and hands stable, but try to line the hips up one over the other as you go from side to side. So you're just sort of feeling and obviously working the core as you go. Rocking the boat. Big breath in at the center line into the back ribs. Exhale. I'm going to put my knees down. You can join me in that if you want, and lower all the way to the ground. Shoulders rolling onto the back. Inhale, cobra. Take a moment here, lifting up through the crown of the head. Let's take a big lion's roar breath on the exhale, but staying in the pose. So deep breath in. Exhale, sticking your tongue out. One more time. Inhale. Next line's where it's going to bring us all the way back to down dog. So you can tuck your toes in preparation and let it rip as you lift the hips. Get all the way back. Inhale, reach the left leg to the sky. Bend the knee, open the hip. Try to lift the front of the pelvis up a little higher. Exhale, step the left foot between the hands. Strengthen and lift the back thigh, and then sweep the arms out and up to the sky, coming again into that high lunge. Same transition we did before. Lean the heart forward. Let's step up to chair at the front of the mat. Sit low, take a deep breath in. And exhale, folding as you straighten the legs. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up all the way to the sky. Exhale, hands in prayer. So we're just easing our way into this warming up process. I'm getting pretty warm. I don't know about you. Arms up. I could go a little bit more though. Folding. Inhale, step back to plank. Let's do it again. So first, structurally, we want the shoulder blades on the back of the heart. So you release the shoulder blades deeper onto the back. And then shift the hips, kind of like you're rocking side to side. It's not really a dropping, and let's keep the gaze. Physically, the eyes are looking in front of the mat, but also inwardly, right? Keeping the head lifted, feeling the core. Breathe on the center line. And exhale, knees can come down, lower. Roll the shoulder blades onto the back. Inhale, cobra. Another lion's roar. Seems like a really good thing right now. So big breath in. Exhale. You want to stretch the tongue, the throat, the whole face, really. One more breath. Taking it back into down dog as you let it rip. Inhale. Right leg to the sky. Bend the knee. Open the hip up. All the layers we get to shed as we breathe in all these different poses. So that's really why we're here. So it's a choice, right? We go, I don't really want to be who I was before I did yoga today. I want to be who I am after I do yoga. It sounds simple, but we know how real it is. Reach the right leg to the sky. Exhale. Step through, lifting the back thigh nice and high. Let's sweep the arms up into that familiar lunge. Working into the back leg, back shin in, thigh widens. So that's part of our sort of universal therapeutic alignment and a way to isolate the stretch into the psoas. Lengthen the tailbone down, lift and reach up and back. Exhale, step up to chair. Ground into the feet, sit deep into the hips, big breath in, lift the upper arms back. And exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up to the sky. Exhale, hands in prayer. We're grateful for every breath and all of these different perspectives we get with each movement. Inhale, sweep the arms to the sky. Hook the thumbs overhead. Take a deep breath, lifting up into the back ribs. Exhale, let's lean to the right. So we still want to be even with the weight, one foot to the other. So most of us, the left foot is going to get a little lighter. So from the middle of the pelvis, reach down through the bones of the left leg all the way to the heel. Take the thigh bones back, shifting the weight slightly more into the heels. Lift up into the back ribs. Totally transform the pose. For me, inhale, reach up. Switch the other thumb in front. All right, so the foundation, we stand on our foundation in every pose. So we stand on the work that our preparation work really. So step into the right foot strongly first, scoop the tail, lift up, and then we go left from the connection of the right foot. And then once you get into it, you can refine it even more by stretching the right thigh bone down all the way through the heel, anchoring it to the earth. Press the back of the ribs back, press the upper arms back. Keep that right foot nice and steady. Inhale, stretch it up. And exhale, fold. Inhale, step back to plank. Deep breath in. One more time. Exhale, the knees can go down. Shoulder blades onto the back. I'm melting the heart. Then release. We'll do the same cobra with 2 lion's roar breaths. So shoulders roll back. It's a ritual. A purification ritual. Releasing energy from the throat. Deep breath in. Pressing into the hands. Join in with me. Stretching the whole face. Backing into down dog at the same time. All right. Inhale, right leg to the sky. Exhale, step right foot between the hands. Let's do warrior 2. So turn the back toes out. Sweep all the way up. So we're landing here. Okay. First, go deep into it. Then inhale. We're going to lift up from the pelvis, go up and back in preparation for a triangle. But be here for a moment. So take the back thigh back. You can even take the left hand to the top of the thigh or the pelvis. What tends to happen is it kind of slips down. So I'm going to lift up from my inner thigh and move this back hip back. So you can see the negative space under the hip is lifting, right? So do that movement with me. Keep the back thigh lifting up. Reach up and back. Exhale. Here we go into triangle. So reach, 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 reach. Lift the toes on the front foot. My front knee is slightly bent just so that I don't dump into the hamstring. You can join me like that. Go all the way forward. Bring the hand to the shin. So consciously I'm keeping the knee bent. Looking up. Take the left hand up into the back ribs and breathe. Expanding into the back ribs. All right. Left arm up. Relax both shoulder blades onto the back of the heart. So from the tailbone extending down and the back thigh lifting away from the ground, we're going to extend from the pelvis. So that's our focal point. Extend down through both legs. That'll straighten the front leg, but from the pelvis through the foot. Then lean back and extend through the crown of the head. Extend up through the top arm. One more breath. Exhale. Both hands down. We're going to keep this triangle pose with the legs, but walk the hands off the left edge of the mat. So you're on the outside the lines of the mat. Place the right hand down under the heart. Reach the left arm up to the sky. This is one of my favorite things to do while I'm in triangle pose. So the front leg and the spine are perpendicular here. The front thigh is still rotating with the kneecap pointing straight towards the front of the room, which is most of us will need to recreate, while from the pelvis you're reaching longer from the heart. Exhale, place the left hand down, reach the right arm up to the sky, turning the chest up towards the sky. And then let's flow back into our triangle. So the right hand is going to come back onto the shin, back to where we started, left arm to the sky. And we're going to do that 2 more times, but 1 breath, 1 movement. So follow me, here we go. Exhale to the left, right hand down, inhale, left arm up. Exhale, left hand down. Inhale, right arm up, so the heart is now facing the front of the room or the front of the mat. Exhale, shift back forward and back into triangle. Right hand down, left arm up. Exhale to the left again. Right hand down. Keep rotating the inner thigh of the front leg towards the front of the mat. Exhale, left hand down. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale, shift forward. Triangle last time. Exhale, down dog. Step it back. Feel the hips side to side. Inhale, left leg to the sky. We're going to flow right into that on the second side. So we go warrior 2 first. Turn the back toes out. Sweep it up. Here we are. Sit deep into the front thigh, relaxing the shoulder blades. And then inhale, straighten the front leg. Do triangle pose prep. So the right hand goes to the right hip. Left arm up, and just feel where the back thigh wants to go. So you're going to shift it back, lift from the underside, the inner thigh, to the outer thigh, expanding up. And from there, reach up and back. We want to absorb. We go into the poses, and through the breath, we normalize the shapes. And through that work of breathing and soaking it in, we're interrupting our habitual tension patterns, the patterns of holding from injury and trauma in the body. So all these good things. So what you're doing with each breath is contributing to that. Let's go forward. So we're going towards triangle with the front knee bent, just to feel. And you can bring the hand to the shin. Front knee can stay bent the whole time. We'll get to the point where we extend actively through the legs, and we'll see what we can create then. So shoulder blades onto the back. Keep lifting through the inner back thigh to the outer back thigh. You might feel a little more weight into the outside edge of the back foot. That's great. And then from the tailbone scooping down, from the back thigh lifting up, stretch from the pelvis down through the front leg. Lengthen the sides of the waist, through the sides of the ribs. Full expansive triangle, kind of like an exploding triangle. Starburst from the pelvis. One more breath. Exhale, fold. All right, let's work our way around. So you're going to go to the right with the spine, keeping the front knee pointing forward. You can bend the knee to check where it's at. With the left hand on the ground, reach the right arm up to the sky. So this is a great one to prepare us for revolve triangle, which we're going to do. And the reason for that is the way the ribs are working and turning and the way we're working the back. So bring the right hand to the back of the right ribs and lift up from the right lung into the hand. Exhale, put the right hand down. Let's do left side. So left arm goes up. Keep the back thigh lifting. It's going to want to drop here. So lift it up, turn your heart. And exhale, release. Let's go back to triangle. So the hand can be on a block, on a shin. We just don't want to push it into the knee. So inhale, reach the right arm to the sky. Back to the feeling of starburst from the pelvis, down through the legs, extending through the crown, the arms. And we're going to flow like that a few times. So exhale, spine flows to the right, legs stay. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale, release that arm. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale. Back to triangle. Inhale. Exhale, back to the right. Fully flow with the spine to the right. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale. Inhale, left arm up. Lean back with the left ribs up and back. Release. Regular triangle flowing to the front. One more time. Go to the right. Inhale, right arm up. Exhaling, fold. Inhale, left arm up. Exhaling, fold to the front. Our best triangle yet. Last breath. Exhale, down dog. So step back. Walking out the feet, maybe plunging one heel at a time. Exhale, bring the knees down. Sit back for a moment. Observe. So we're taking a moment to collect ourselves in preparation for some sort of inversion. This could be as simple as practicing down dog for 10 or 20 breaths, or doing a handstand practice with your feet on the wall or kicking up to it. So let's work on the L shape first if you're able to interact with the wall. So I'm going to shift, placing the heels against the wall. So this is important mental health time. That's the way I look at it. Inversions are so great for anxiety. Shoulder blades onto the back, lift up through the hips, and then walk your feet coming into a tight little, sort of like a little crouching ball with your hips close to the wall. And then from there, gaze is down, and it's very slow and controlled to straighten the legs. When you're done, let's take child's pose for a moment. So letting the weight fully settle. So these inversion practices offers us a special kind of calm. And these moments just following the inversion, we want a real sense of relief, maybe even a sense of safety as you remind yourself where you are. You're resting with gravity on the earth. Deepest breath here, acknowledging that a breath in child's pose is just as valuable as a breath in handstand. So acknowledging that truth, we make the choice. I'm going to work on kicking up against the wall, facing the wall. So planting the hands, shoulder width apart. Finding something steady for the hands. Melting from the heart. So it's the very same thing we did first in plank. We collect the shoulder blades into the back of the heart. It's a structural protection for the shoulder joints. And energizing through the forearms, drawing them towards each other, lift the front ribs in. From there, lifting up. The gaze is soft, the neck is soft. I like to look just between where my index fingers are, bringing one foot in, lifting your favorite foot. Now the most common thing is to bend the elbows on the kick up. So as consciously as we can, we're going to stay controlled and hugging the midline. Try some kicks. If you're in this pose with one leg against the wall, the challenge will be to switch with the legs in the air, sort of catching airtime for just a second. So it's a slow switching of the leg that is supported by the wall. Returning to child's pose. Releasing the shoulders and upper back by rolling your forehead out from temple to temple. Inhale, coming into down dog. As promised, it's very important work. Left leg to the sky. Setting up for our revolved triangle. Stepping the foot through. Turning the back toes out. And I'm stepping my right foot much wider to the right with the toes turned out. So I'm almost at the right edge of the mat. Shift the center of gravity back. So the front hip pulls back. Inhale, sweep the arms. Let's go up to here. So you can see how much naturally, because the low back is flexible, my butt wants to stick out, right? So extend down. And you'll notice, if you can see the screen, as my tailbone goes down, see how the back thigh wants to drop? So the challenge will be to start neutral, bring the right hand to the right thigh, draw the back thigh up. So you can see that motion here. I'm just energizing the back leg, but keep that and turn the right hip forward, then scoop the tailbone. So the energy in the back leg is going to increase when the tailbone scoops. From there, inhale, lift up, sweep the arms. Let's do just a quick shoulder and neck release. Interlace the hands behind your back. We're going to take the hands and press the hands into the right hip. So this is the piriformis. Well, there's a set of muscles, the lateral rotators. So roll the shoulder blades onto the back. The hands are going to help you move your right hip, the back hip forward, but keep the back thigh lifting. Lift up, lean back. Press the knuckles down into the hip to get more space to lift up through the heart. Exhale, let's go forward. Spine flowing. Roll the shoulders, lift the arms away from the pelvis. How high can you go? See what the shoulders can process therapeutically. We don't want to go too far. The breath should still be supple. Lengthen through the back of the neck. Stretch from the pelvis up into the back ribs. Let's go up one more time, so spine flowing. This time, inhale, release the arms to the sky. And we're going to twist to the left. So left hand goes back, right hand goes forward. You have to keep lifting the back thigh. Go up. See if you can bring the left hand to the back thigh somewhere. Lifting, reaching back. All right, here we go. It's doing so good. Hand comes down to the shin. I'm going to dive in since we've been really working the hip already. So the hand, we want it to connect outside the front leg. So if you have a block, make sure it's on this outer side. Bring the left hand to the left ribs and breathe and lift and turn. Expanding into the back ribs. Keep that fullness. Inhale, left arm to the sky. Now, starburst here. From the pelvis, stretch down through both legs. Stretch forward through the heart. Reach through the crown of the head. Reach up through the top arm. Exhale, let it go. Oh my God. Down dog. This could be a child's pose. I'm going to see if I can hang in there and wait till after the second side. So come along with me if you can. Inhale, reach the right leg to the sky. Exhale, step. Widen the left foot, toes turning out. We start here. So foundational work first. We want to feel the center of gravity shifting back. Sweep the arms back. Flowing up, spine vertical. Turn the palms face up. A lot of times when the palms turn up, the shoulders get to release further down the back. So try that. Inhale. Left hand to the front of the left thigh. Lift the thigh. And then scoop the tail. So that really gets me into the psoas, which is what I want. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, the arms release. All right, let's do what we did. Interlace. Take the hands. So it's not right at the back of the tailbone, but it's on the left side. You should feel a mound of fat and muscle under the left hip, or under the hands. So use the hands to move the back hip forward without the back thigh dropping. So the back thigh is going to stay lifted, and we turn. From there, scoop the tail and start building from the waist up. Shoulders onto the back, lift. It's a ripple. Each inhale is a ripple from the tailbone down, lifting up through the side ribs, tailbone down, lifting up through the side ribs. Maybe you look all the way at the wall behind you even. Searching for this space. Inhale, coming up to neutral. Lift through the heart again. Lean forward. Shoulder blades onto the back. So we're hovering with the heart and hips at the same line. Lift those arms behind you. Back of the neck soft. So we want to streamline the energy. As much as you can let go, let go. So any unnecessary parts, we just want to wave all extra energy and invite in a sense of acceptance for this moment. Inhale, coming up. Release the arms. Arms to the sky. Exhale, left hand forward, right hand back. Here we are, palms face up as a gesture of release for the shoulders. Inhale, rippling up into the back ribs, so the back thigh is really getting heavy, so you want to lift it up. Whew. Almost there. Right hand back leg. Scoop the tail. Lift up. Remember our revolved warrior 2 from earlier. So you want to get that arching feeling. Sort of like a half moon, crescent moon from the back heel, up through the pelvis, up to the heart, up to the fingertips. Exhale, take it forward. Hand connects somewhere outside the front shin. Lift the back thigh. Bring the right hand to the right ribs. Fill up into the back ribs. Reach from the pelvis forward through the heart. Couple big breaths. Shoulder blades on the back. Starburst your revolved triangle. Both legs. Long spine. Full heart. Full through the crown. Full through both arms. Exhale. All right. Step up to the front of the mat. Whew. Forward fold. Hands to shins. Lengthen. Oh my God. Exhale, fold. Turn the toes out. Bend the knees. Crouching down. Malasana. Hands in prayer, elbows inside the knees. Take a moment lifting through the heart. Shift your weight a little side to side. The eyes are soft, or maybe even closed once again. Slowly dropping onto the hips. Feet together, hands under the knees. From the low back, lift up through the heart. And let's take both. So feet together, flex through the toes. Palms face up. Release all unnecessary effort. bringing a sense of acceptance for this moment flooding in. 3 deep breaths. Placing all your importance on this last deep breath. Exhale, release onto your back. Feet about as wide as the mat. Let your knees fall from one side to the other. Fully emptying out. All right, we're really working our twists. So we're actually going to do revolve triangle again, but on our backs. It's a completely different pose. You may not have ever even connected the two, but here we go. Draw the left knee into the chest, circling the left ankle. Left leg to the sky, interlace the hands behind the left thigh. Now pull the left hip towards the right leg. I've got all my toes flexed. You can even lift the left hip and then sit it more forward. So it's kind of like my left hip wants to scoot forward towards the front edge of the mat. I'm going to end up with a new feeling of space at the back of the pelvis and the left waist. Take a deep breath in. It's the exact same movement as bringing the front hip back in our revolved triangle that we worked so hard on. So from here, let's take the left leg across. I'm going for the outside of my foot. You can also do the outside of the shin. Take it all the way across. Lift and move the right hip back. And then reach the left arm out. Now the left hip in this connective practice to revolve triangle is still the front hip. So we do this exact same practice standing. Take the left thumb, put it in the left hip crease, and roll it away from your heart. You're rolling it towards the front of the mat. So we want to really let a softening, emptying feeling into the low belly. Try to keep that feeling, but taking the hand away and release the left arm back out to the left. Let's walk this right leg back. So that's the leg flowing forward. And then bend the knee. We're just going to see if we can take the left hand and connect it to the right foot. So this is a reclined version of revolved half moon. So you want to keep working it the same way, moving the left hip forward. Breathing wide across the front of the heart. And finally, that starburst feeling, that organic extension from the pelvis through the heart, through both legs in their own directions, defining these lines of energy more. All right, and we're going to let our effort dissolve to come out of the pose. So one leg at a time, releasing. Come back. Let's come back to that easy, neutralizing feeling. Okay, and other side. So left leg forward. Draw the right knee in. Last pose, and then we're done. So extending the right leg up, hands behind the right thigh. Press the right hamstring into the hands. Okay. So we take it across. I'm taking the left hand to the outside of the right foot or the outside of the knee. Move the left hip way back. So it's several shifting, sort of wiggling to get the foundation, the underside of the pose, this bottom leg back in space. From there, the right hand goes to the right hip to just sort of remind us of where we can connect this movement so that it becomes universal and deeper in our muscle memory. It's the same as any lunge with the front hip. The front hip is pulling down towards the back heel. Inhale. From there, slowly opening, really receiving the twist into the low belly. Wiggle through the back of the head just a little bit in a way that helps you to lengthen. Allowing the length of the spine to softly increase, like it's just sort of like releasing into a new length. And then let's move this bottom leg back a little bit more. This is really just a playful moment, so if you don't make this connection, don't worry about it. So I'm bringing the heel into the butt. The thing you want to watch out for is the knee being, the back, this left knee being too far forward. So you want to really move it back in space so the thighs are further apart from each other to get the connection. With the hand connection on the foot, you'll want to have the outside edge of the foot with the palm facing up. Now pressing the left hand into the right leg, wherever you have it, on the knee or the foot, and widen the heart from left to right. Maybe even gazing to the right, taking that spiraling length all the way up to the crown of the head. All right, and finding true resolution for this whole practice, releasing your effort, releasing the connections of your hands, fully unwinding all the way into Shavasana. So this pose is not just a luxury, but it's a essential time of integration. In order for us to integrate all this work, all of our own energy and passion, we just soften ourselves, stepping back, emptying ourselves of force, emptying ourselves of effort. So the goal is to just allow, so that all this new space, we can slowly and passively allow our desire to force things to be replaced with a sense of trust. A sense of softness. A sense of true surrender. Practicing it physically so that it can influence our minds throughout the day. With as little effort as possible, let's reintroduce movement first through the fingers and toes. Stretching the arms overhead. Let's take a good morning stretch on the way out of this. So the arms stretch overhead, the feet can come together. And you just get as long as you can. Wiggling through the fingers and toes. And a gesture of just reaching a little bit longer. And bending the knees, slowly rolling onto the left side. We'll come up to seated. Let's take the closing moment just as we began, with the palms face up on the thighs. Grateful, fully observing with a sense of gratitude the strength and power that we've awakened within ourselves. The purging and detoxification process that the twists bring. All of the strength work that we did on our backs so that we can feel a sense of lightness and ease in our posture. Thanks everyone so much for sharing this experience with me. Namaste.
Flying too close to the sun. Flying too close to the sun.